Hello again. Welcome back. So today I wanted to try to do another journal for my little journal series, journal covers. But I decided on this one. I made one of these many years ago and I really love it and never used it. But anyway, this one I'm using chipboard. You can use cereal box or whatever you may want to use if you choose to make one of these. I did it because I have chipboard that I purchased many years ago and I still have a big stack of it. So I thought, you know, I'll go ahead and use this chipboard. Plus I'm going to be using some Mod Podge. So I don't know. I just wanted it to be harder cover. The one thing that I did do was I sprayed a sealer. I sprayed both sides of my chipboard with sealer because there is going to be a lot of Mod Podge on this, and sometimes that will help to keep your cardstock or whatever from warping. At least I'm going to hope that helps. But anyway, this is going to be very simple and straightforward. I decided that this is going to be 6 by 9. I made a 2.5 inch spine that I just cut out in chipboard. It's going to be done differently, so I'm not including it in this. There's no need to. And then I think this one's going to have 5 signatures in it. So that's my plan at this point. So the only thing I've done is cut my chipboard, sealed it, sprayed the sealer on it, which dries in about 10 seconds, not long. And I inked around my edges just because I am going to do my collage work right on top of this. I'm not going to do it separate and wrap it and all that. I think it'll be fine. So I'm going to set this one aside. I have some Mod Podge, which has been watered down. I don't like to use full Mod Podge. I don't know why. But anyway, I'm sure that's fine too. And all I'm going to do is use, I have random bits of scrapbook paper. I pulled some neutrals over here, like this music paper, some of these checks, French checks. I thought maybe I would use a piece of that. I have a little bit of ledger and graph paper, even some postcards over here. I don't know. I might use portions of them in this, but basically I am just going to, my mind won't work. I'm not feeling the greatest today. I'm just going to use random bits. It's just going to be a, I can't think of the word. This edge is already torn. You can tear the edges, you can keep them straight, whatever you prefer. If you want to tear some and leave some straight, doesn't matter. And ultimately, in the end, it doesn't matter. It all comes together. So I'm just putting a light coat to hold my paper down. It's sort of going to be a patchwork. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. And I know that since I inked, some of the ink is probably going to bleed into my cover, and I don't really care. That doesn't bother. See, I have ink on there already. So I'm just going to lightly glue my random pieces down, and then I'll cover them again. I'm just going to tear that. I don't know where I want it. I want it there. Maybe I'll put it down in this corner. The idea of this is not to think about what you're doing. You know, just do it, because in the end it all melds together and looks like you intended it to be that way. That's what I like about it. It's a foolproof, easy process. And I love the way that it comes out. I don't know how big I want this piece. I'm just going to tear a piece. You don't want to get, I guess it doesn't really matter. I started to say I don't want all my shapes to be the same, but just rectangular or square or whatever you want. Even if you want some other shape, do it. The one that I did a long time ago, I have papers going every which way. And you see some of this, even though I sealed this, portions of it are wanting to erase, but I believe that when it dries, it's going to be fine. I have this. I had taken a photo of a quilt that my grandmother had made, my great-grandmother had made, and I had this picture in there, and I thought, you know what, I want part of my Grandma Leila's quilt on here. So I'm going to do it. Maybe I'll wait. I want a square piece, I think. Well, how about we bring some music paper? I'm just gonna randomly tear. If you want, like the one that I made a long time ago, I would layer over. I did layer over. Just try to make this as random as possible. And you might want to use, should have kept my mouth shut because I can't even think of it. I don't like the way that's doing that. Better lay flat when this is all said and done. Maybe I should try to work from the center out. I need some color. Trying to get that off my corner. I think once I do this, I might round my corners. See what I mean? I don't care if anything matches. It's just a Mod Podge. You could really think this out, but I just want to see where it leads, where it takes me. Some of this pink on here. Why not. Need. Oh, that's too close to that color, isn't it? It's funny, when I look at the papers I have, I tend to go back to the same papers over and over and over again. My favorite paper pack, I bought it, oh, it goes this way. I bought it at Hobby Lobby, and I could use it over and over and over again. You don't want to fuss with it too much, even though I seem to be. Let's see. Need something over here. Maybe I bring some of this in here. I don't think I want it all the way. So use whatever you have and whatever you like. That's what I'm trying to learn as I create more and more journals. I've always been so uptight about what everybody else is doing and how they're doing it. And, you know, it's all lovely. Don't take me the wrong way. I mean, I admire it greatly. But I think that when you try to do something the way somebody else has done it, I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is let your creative juices flow. If you like it, do it. I'm going to lay this one aside here. And I thought, what did I do with my, I thought I got some wet wipes out. I know I did. Oh, Lord knows where I put them. My head is just not right. Alright, so I'm going to grab the other piece and I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm going to try, I think I really want to bring, this is Tailor-Made Journals, this digital kit. And I will be completely honest, I absolutely love anything I've purchased from her. I think I'm going to put that right there. And I don't really know which is going to be front, which is going to be back. I'll worry about that once everything's said and done. Make a determination at that point. I probably shouldn't be putting Mod Podge over the top at this point, but I am. Come on, Sheila. Do I want a piece of that? Why not? I don't know why I didn't tear that first. Ding dong. Oh, I could pull that right up. Oop. What do I want there? I always feel like I have so much paper and then I'm always looking for more. Should use my tear ruler. Frame. Once we finish this one, then I'll show you the one that I did. It's been years ago, quite honestly. So we can see, even though using the same process, and probably a lot of the same papers, not all the same papers, but a lot of the same papers, the different look that you can achieve. It's still too long, isn't it? I want most of this to show. Yeah. I don't know why I keep trying to tear with my hand, because that'll be alright. That's going to be up at the top. Okay, let's figure out, what do we want up there? Some blue. Yep. Oh, you notice I have a Band-Aid on, thanks to when I was cutting this chipboard, I got a paper cutter out and it just wouldn't cut the chipboard. And it's quite frustrating because, well, it's a very popular cutting board and they're not cheap, and they won't cut through it even though they're supposed to. But anyway, it wouldn't cut through the chipboard, so I decided, oh, I'll get my X-Acto knife out and do it that way. And I have a tendency to always press so hard, even when I know I shouldn't be. I do. And my hand slipped off the ruler that I was using, and the blade came across and cut me pretty bad. I was like, oh no, this is not good. Am I going to require stitches for this? But I was able to get the bleeding stopped and put a Band-Aid on it. So I think I'm fine. I think I will keep my thumb. At the time it happens, you're like, oh, I don't want to look. I don't want to look. I know it hurt, that's for sure. want some. I feel like everything's buried in here. I need some more color. It seems like everything is in the blues and neutrals. I just don't want to keep going that way. I think I like this. Bring it up there. Let me get it long enough. Yeah. I don't know what's going on, but our street, we live on a court, and it's been pretty busy out there today. Maybe someone's having a yard sale or something, I don't know. We never have any traffic back here. We only have like 8 houses on our street, but it seems like there's been an awful lot of traffic that doesn't belong, you know, other than the neighbors. Random cars. All right. So, I know it doesn't look like much yet, and I'm hoping that will change. I'm just wondering if I should put another coat. I think I'm going to, and I hope I don't regret this, but I want to put another coat of Mod Podge on this. That's what I didn't want to happen right there. Get off of there. You can see as it starts drying, it looks a whole lot better. Okay, stop playing with it, Sheila. Put that one aside. I'll take this one. I am not a pro with Mod Podge. I use it, but it's very seldom. But I know in the last journal I made like this, even though there were wrinkles, as it dried, they laid down. Okay, so for now, I am going to let this dry. And then we will come back and see where we are and what else we want to do to it. So I'll be back in a little while. Bye. Hello everybody. I wanted to come back and finish up this journal cover. Wanted to show you now that it's dry. Now the one thing that I did do, I inked this side just to show the difference, and I want to ink this side, and then I think I might spray it with that sealer. I don't know how that would do on top of this Mod Podge, but I prefer a more aged look. I like it both ways. I think it's real cute. Without the ink as well, I just prefer a little bit, I don't know. I guess vintage is just my thing. I don't know how else to say it. So that's enough on there. I just had a thought and I can't remember what it was. Oh, I wanted to decide. I can't decide which side I want my front panel to be. I want that to be my front. I think I'm going to do this one. I don't think it really matters, quite honestly. But anyway, I've decided I'm going to use this fabric on my spine. I'm going to do this a little bit different since we did our cover right on the chipboard. I just want to glue this fabric down really good. And you know what? Do I want to use that? I think I'm going to use my, I think I will. I think I'm going to use my PVA glue. I just honestly prefer to work with it. I'm just going to make sure I get that glue everywhere so that fabric adheres to it nicely. And I sort of envision when I put the signatures in this journal, I might do the, I don't know the technical term, but it looks like cross stitch binding for the pages. I don't know. That'll be determined once I actually start doing the journal itself. But alright, so I'm going to set this aside. What I'm going to do, I've torn my fabric a couple inches larger so that I should turn this way. I'll turn it so I can sort of center it. I gave myself about 1/2 inch or so above and below, and probably an inch on each side, something about that. Get my brayer. I've decided I'm not going to attach my spine to the outside. I'm going to go inside with it. And I want to do this. I think I'm going to put it right on the fabric. No. I'll put it on the inside of my book here. Oh shoot. You know what I should have? Looking behind me here. I usually use a piece of cardstock or chipboard. This is going to be very wet, but it's going to be okay. I have a piece of chipboard. I should have been ready. Don't have a small piece of chipboard, but what I like to do, this one's too tall, too big. I usually have a smaller piece of chipboard and I butt it up against my spine. Oh. And then I'm going to turn this around. I want to make sure, first of all, I get this lined up. I want to put my chipboard up. I think I have my camera a little bit low. while I'm standing up is part of the issue. Just want to give this time to adhere. And down here at the bottom, I think it can go in some. Found my wipes I thought I had out earlier. They were just on the other side of my desk there, where I couldn't see them from this side. I think that chipboard's helping me. And then I want to put glue on the side. I'm a little bit jealous right now. This is the weekend that my husband's in Colorado for that wedding. And he just sent me a little video clip of the bride and groom dancing. And I knew it was going to be quite the affair. It's just beautiful. So I wish I was there, but I'm not. And I'm just going to line this up here and down here. My primary concern is to get it level. See if I can figure out where my chipboard is. We're in a good spot there. Good spot there. And then what I'm going to do very tenderly I'm just sort of making sure I have space between my spine and my pages. Then I think what I'm going to do let me think about this a minute. I'm going to leave that like that for a minute. I cut out a piece of cardstock that I am going to stick inside here to reinforce. I think, well, maybe I'll glue that fabric down that way. I think I'm going to bring my fabric in. I'll tell you where I cut my finger. That has been very sore. It wasn't very sore in the beginning, and then I was cutting up some fruit, and some of the juice from the fruit got on my Band-Aid, and ooh, did that ever sting. Okay. Cut this string off. Sort of irritating me. All right, now I think I'm ready for my paper. So I'm just going to put all my glue on the back of it. Feeling a little bit better. Yesterday and today have not, I don't know, I had some kind of stomach bug or something that was going on. And I want this to be good and gluey. Especially in the middle. Okay. It doesn't matter what this looks like. I just want to position this, find my edges. Okay. Take my, at a loss for words, I don't know what it's called. I can't remember the name of it right now. But you know what it is. I'm going to slowly bend. I'm going to do the same over here. Right? And then I want to take this, I like to push that down. Oop. This is Sheila. And this, quite honestly, will be covered. But I want this so that it reinforces my spine. Since we secured the spine on the inside, usually you have part of the spine attached on the outside and on the inside. That will be good. I'm going to let this all dry. I decided to leave that square, and I think I'll be alright with it. I'll probably end up rounding these edges. We could still always add something, but I really like the simplicity of this. You could add one of those metal nameplates, you know. I just like the simplicity of it myself. I would be happy with nothing more on it. I may still add something, I don't know. But I like the simplicity of it. And I think once the, I'm sorry, try and clean up some of this glue. I'm just going to let this dry. And I think what I'll do is lie it flat. And what I normally do, let me move this since that's wet. This is what I normally do. Give me second here. Usually when I have something like this that I want to dry flat and I want to make sure like this is really secure, I lay these dictionaries right on top of it and let it dry overnight. That way I know it has pressure so it's adhering. It might take longer to dry, but I'm not in any hurry. I don't need it right away. So there you go. That is another journal cover idea. I know it's not much. It's not original, but I'm just showing you, and especially for new junk journalers, easy ways to make a journal. You don't have to do patchwork. You know, it just gives you an idea of how simple you can actually make a journal cover. That's the whole point. So, hello again. I'm back. It's the next morning, very early in the morning. Excuse me. But as you can see, everything is dry. This still feels a little bit loose. But once we complete the inside, it's going to make this much more sturdy. And especially once we get the signatures in. Now I've decided that I'm going to make 5 signatures for this journal. And I want to stitch them in through the spine because I want to do cross stitch binding. And I don't know if that's the technical term. I believe it is, where it has the X's. So that's what I'm going to do with this journal. So since I know that I'm going to be stitching, I'm going to have to poke my holes through the spine and all that, I can go ahead and finish my inside. A lot of times when I'm doing a hidden spine, of course you know, we stitch our signatures in to whatever our backing is going to be here and then glue that down. Since I'm going to stitch right through so the stitching shows on the other side, I can go ahead and complete. So I have my brush ready. Once again, I'm just going to use my PVA glue. Brush this around, see where we are with things. And I've decided for my spine area, I'm going to use the same fabric that I put on the outside of the spine. I love a spine, a fabric covered spine. I just find that if you use paper, I mean, a lot of people have great success with it. I don't. It seems like my paper, after you open and shut, the paper seems to tear on me. It just doesn't have the same durability for some reason. Lay that on its side, maybe that'll help. A while ago, I don't know, it's been several months ago now. I was so worried I was going to run out of PVA glue. And it took forever to get it. But I have a brand new bottle. And I'm still using my old bottle. So I've already torn out a piece of the fabric that I want in here. Now I'm just lining it up here at the top. At the bottom here. I want to make sure my might be a little bit long. I can trim it off. Once again, I get my bone folder. Couldn't remember the name of this. I am not sleeping well at all. I didn't turn my bedroom light out. Well, TV. Didn't turn TV off till after midnight last night, and at 4:45 I was wide awake, and I probably actually only slept a few hours. Interrupted sleep, because it was like, it seemed like every hour on the hour I was awake. Now I've chosen Tim Holtz cardstock. I've inked it up, and I'm going to put that on my inside here. I'm just wondering how, I think I'll put it on the back of my cardstock. Let's see. Blue issues. Oh, come on. Come on. You can see this thing. It's been sitting there. I just want to see if... Alright, let's try it again. I think it's because as soon as I touch the tip to the paper, I think I'm clogging it. So I'm trying to keep it away from the paper. Come on. Maybe that's not the issue. Come on. Nothing more frustrating to me than this. Well, didn't mean to do that. Let's see. I thought, oh, we can do this really quick. And then we have the glue issues to deal with. Oh yeah, I need much more glue. Come on. I know, sometimes you get those strings of glue. I don't... Ah, there we go. Woo! It's coming out now. Oh, darn it. It had a big blob, as you can see. Let me get that off of there. Well, we have enough glue on this. So, what I will do, turn this over without touching that ink. Over up some of this glue on the other one. Wow, that's a messy glue job. So I'm going to line mine up at the outside of my book. And oh, I forgot to tell you what I did. I cut these 9 by 5 3/4 because I don't like to butt it up all the way against. And I sort of like that the fabric shows. Let me put this. I always like to use my brayer. Alright, I'm going to move this aside. Try to get my glue on here. Probably have way too much glue now. Trying to keep my mat clean, my cutting mat. I'll tell you, once this dries, this book is going to be much sturdier. Got some glue on that. And my brayer. Oh yeah, you can already feel how much sturdier that makes the journal. Alright, and I'll probably trim. Oh, that's the bottom. Top is pretty good. I'll trim some of this excess fabric off of there, which I could do now, quite honestly. I'm going to once again set my dictionaries on top of this to dry. Pretty early in the morning for me. All right. Get a little bit of that paper off. So there we have it. Another finished journal cover. This is going to look so different once we get the journal in it. And maybe at that point I'll decide to put something on here. I don't know if I will. But we might still round these corners. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking in my head right now. We might, and if we do that, we're just going to use, I'll just do it. Use my corner chomper here. Go. And then, it's been a long time since I've used this actually. It's full. This mess up. Oh, I'll get that off camera. The next thing that, of course, we would do is just ink the corners on the inside and the out. There you go. And once again, yeah, I like it with the rounded corners. It's rustic. I find it rustic. I love this. And I think once we sew our signatures in, it's going to add a lot to it. Like even the outside with the stitching on the side. So there you have it. That's another journal cover. I will be back again. I'll be back. All right. Enjoy your day. Happy crafting. And I'll see y'all real soon. Bye-bye.